people haven't been out of this. They say a 4-block radius. They haven't been out. So 2 blocks over this way, they don't realize that's the flower district, or they just consume to these 4 little streets.
Skid Row is very important. Just people that you talk to, if you can give them some information and hopefully they go with that information that you give them, you just change their life.
If I can get help, if I can change, if I can get some structure, if I can get home, if I can get opportunities, jobs, if I can be motivated and inspiring and encouraging, somebody else can.
A lot of them want help but just don't know how to go about getting it. Because, you got a lot of issues down here. You got mental, physical abuse, drug abuse. So, mental people really don't go looking for houses. They just take what they can and accept it. Just like a person on the drugs. You don't want to be locked down into any place. You want to always be on the move because that's all you really think about is a drug. You're not thinking about housing. Only time you think about housing is once you come up out of it.
Time has just gone by so quickly, and it just felt like such a small part of life, when I was drinking. And it wasn't, it really wasn't a small part of life. I mean, for you to be absent at all is a big deal. Okay. This is where I live. When I got my little apartment, I was so happy, and I started feeling like if I was worth having an apartment now. It's an awesome feeling. I was in a residential program, and it was for 6 long months. When I was in my drunkenness, I was just basically ready to die, and I knew I had to do something. My family knew I had to do something. They're the ones that said, "This is it. This is enough of this stuff, and we're not going to let you do this." And thank God they didn't. So that's when I started my journey. Okay.
Come on to my little place, y'all.
Oh, it's nice in here. It's cute in here. You want to come to a class? We're having a class today at 1:30.
At 1:30 or
1:30. 1:30 next door at the Rainbow.
Okay.
It's going to be our first time having the class, so it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
We'd like you to come.
An individual cannot accept help or want help unless he's housed. I mean, once you get a person into a spot, then you can take the process of trying to get them to therapy or get them the medical help they need, the mental help they need, or even just the physical conversation that they probably need. But as long as they are on the streets, how can you really help them? Well, this is the Star. This is their newest building for Skid Row housing. I'm finna take you around here and show you some of the things that as a peer advocate, what we do. Right now we're here at the leasing office, and every individual in here is trying to be housed.
A lot of it is guidance from people. They've never actually had their own permanent housing in a while. So the peer advocacy sometimes sit in there where I'm talking to them to make them feel at ease and say, hey, I was there once, so this is what you can look forward to. The peer advocacy also assists me if I don't have anybody to accompany them to their housing authority appointments or to their doctor's appointment. They escort them there and back, make sure they get there, on time, and make sure they get back to the office with the correct paperwork. Once the client get ready to move in, they're there with a welcome kit, saying congratulations, here's a little something for, to welcome you into your new place. So they play a big role.
The project started in 2011 because the first 90 days was the most critical time for people, whether they fall out of housing, whether they get connected to services, whether, lots of things. So they really noticed that was a very critical time. It's called critical time intervention. So when they're first moving in, they get a housing transitional specialist, they get a peer advocate, they get an on-site case manager, and those three people work as a team to try to help stabilize the resident in housing.
After coming back from Texas and experiencing a death, my mom, I came back and took care of her 3 weeks. She passed on me and I went crazy. I went for the worst, but then I got a grip of myself and I said, I need help. Yeah, home is it makes a lot, oh my God. So the ones that have homes, we need to get on some more thinking. We need to see how the other people doing that continue to grow. Because I don't want to just get a home and get stuck. I want to get a home and continue to grow. But the most important part about all of this is giving back. Yeah, give me some serenity and some clarity. So when I step out the door, I don't let what the effect of others affect my serenity. Excuse me for a minute, excuse me. Just coming through for a minute. Excuse me for a minute. How y'all doing? Good morning. We're housing people. We're reaching out to people. This is what we do on a daily basis, So, it's sad to see some things, but you're only able to help the ones that you can help, So that's where I'm at with that. And when I can't, I just don't wear it too hard on me. I see where I can help, and then where I can't help, then, I have to keep moving.
Every day, huh?
Hi, how you doing?
All right.
Good, you too?
How your day going?
My day is wonderful, brother, wonderful.
Anyway, I was just want to come by and check on you, see
Thank
how
you.
you're doing.
Thank you.
That's what we do.
And that's one of the things I really do love about you, brother. You do that on a daily. If my door's just cracked, you'll holler in, you'll check on me. And I just want you to know that I really, really appreciate you. Y'all are my support group even when you don't know it.
Wow.
Even when you don't know it. When I know it took me getting where I'm at today to meet people like you. Because if I was still out there wouldn't be people like you in my life. You really do.
You guys do a good job of really bringing that out in people, and
I love working with the advocates. They're just so enthusiastic. They bring such new ideas, just such a different, valued experience that I wouldn't know, because I've never been homeless. I've never been to drug treatment. I've never been in jail. I don't know, but because some of our advocates have, and because they have such varied, rich life experience, they're able to lend their experiences, which is so important.
When I decided to stay sober, they say if don't nothing change, then nothing changes. If you don't change nothing, then nothing changes. And I truly believe that. So I said, I'm not finna go sit in a group with all these people. I don't even know these people. This ain't my get down. I don't do groups, But I kept telling myself, this is something you never done before. And you said you was gonna do everything that you haven't done before. Paul, we just going to check on him right now to see how his day's been going, because we all have our ups and downs, good days and bad days. So we're going to see how he's doing today, anything he need or what we can do for him. And to make sure he continue to meet with his case manager and,
got a good rapport with the property manager because it's good to build good relationships with everyone you come in contact with.
It takes what it takes for each individual to stop doing whatever they're doing. You know, you have to have some type of experience. Some people, like for me, it took me, they had to threaten to send me to the prison. I never been to prison before, and I'm not built for prison. So they told me, you going to the pen, to the big house? And I said, you got my attention. What do you want me to do? Top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
How are you today?
We'll be trying to push it out and get it out of there as fast as possible. Especially if it's something low money, you know.
Yeah. That little money.
I take care of business. Yeah, I do that. That's no problem.
But today you do the other application.
I got the copies of everything they need.
I was speaking on you earlier, how positive you stay. Every time I see you in good spirit, good attitude, despite what goes on in these buildings, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people come with a lot of complaints. You know, we all got complaints, but through it all, you just continue to stay uplifted and positive. And that's a big thing for residents, you know.
Well, it's basically for me is that I learned that you really can't change nothing. Just keep pushing what you got to do for yourself. I mean, if you can help somebody along the way, it's an extra gift. But
Right.
Tuesdays, 11.
Today, I could actually say I have peace because I understand me. Everything I had to go through, it made me a better person today, you know. I have more respect for everyone. I always do whatever I can for anybody because a lot of people was there for me.
Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success. Give us, guess what? Give it to me. Because I need it just like you do.
Giving up? No, I'm just not in tune to giving up. You know, I give in to a point, but it's all about, to me, it seems like after a minute you go, no, this ain't right.
The world is full of people possessed of self-doubt.
I think it's a big deal for the peer advocacy to run more groups because the clients feel it's one of their kind. They can relate to more because they actually live in the buildings also, so they see these people on a regular basis. So it's kind of a guidance, say, hey, this person was like me once, how can I be like that also? And what do I have to do to get to that level? So as they see them more interactive, more groups, more people tend to interact with them also.
Where's the union mission?
San Pedro between 7th and 6th.
Okay, so around the union mission.
This year is really different for us because we are expanding the peer advocate component. We're given so much more time to really like examine it and really like develop more programming around it with the peer advocates, which I think is really important. We're doing a zine this year. We're going to have the advocates kind of tell their story. Advocates, you know, are people who live here, and they are, you know, but they also work for us. And so we really wanted to highlight, you know, their narrative and their story. And along with that zine will be a resource map with the subjective knowledge of the advocates, maybe the most like updated resources because the advocates actually go to those resources themselves.
Usually about the first year, usually a person relapse. My thing is that as long as you keep picking yourself up and keep going back to the programs and stuff like that, sooner or later you're gonna beat it. I woke up one night in the truck with some females, and I looked at them, I looked at the dough, and I looked at them again, and I told them I'm going to a program. I'm tired of this. And then one of the females asked, well, do you want some more dope? No, I don't want no more dope. I don't want nothing else. All right, Nick, how you doing?
How are you?
Came here to do a wellness check.
I've been homeless. Yeah. I talked to Anthony from I'm homeless. Can you help me, please? He's seen the outside.
How about the doctor? You see the doctors?
Yeah, I go to doctor right here in the 6th and Maple. I have a little bit in mental.
6th and Maple.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
the
station. Yeah, the mental health.
Yeah, she's in the Armenian. My workers.
Is there anything that we can help you with? Do you need any assistance in any form?
If you help me, government, if you help me, guys, it's good. It's be good.
Okay. Okay. So you're just having a great time.
Yeah.
The amount of responsibilities they've thrown on their peer advocacy is tremendous, and I think they're handling it very well. I can see it being very successful, not only within the agency, but also with other agencies working with how to help with the homeless population within the city, and then one from the city to the state.
It's not just about what case managers think or what us as professionals are doing. It's really about everybody coming to the table, advocates, case managers, everybody has a piece in this bigger process of housing.
By me having to go through this process of getting housing down here on Skid Row, it took 11 months, and at that time, God was preparing me to have a house.
This is when I went to Sacramento, and we was lobbying for the SB 12, the Homes Act. We also go out there to tell our stories to senators, to tell them how important it is to have nurses and doctors inside of our own building. It makes a big difference when I could just go downstairs and see the doctor. And it makes it easier for people to want to see the doctor because they don't have to go deal with crowds or traffic and all that.
As far as my first night here, I slept like a dream. I mean, you got to think about it. Coming from a 1985 Suburban truck to a room full of men's to your own spot, how could it feel?
It comes furnished, so, but you need the little things. When I was thinking, okay, wait a minute, when do I get my first check? Wait. And I was kind of trying to figure out when I was going to be able to get that stuff. The manager knocked at the door, and he says, here's a welcome package. And there was a big Tupperware, must have stood about this tall, this wide, with everything, just all the little things, and I just thought, I closed the door and I cried.
After I got my own place, which is home, I got a chance to get stable, some stability, some place to get some clarity so I can think and be creative. That's all that changed when I got grounded. But as long as I wasn't grounded, I'm just trying to figure out where I'm gonna sleep tonight.
And I went outside and just stand outside and throw my hand up and said, what I'm doing here? And then I just came in, I called my auntie and she said, God bless you to get that place and you better hold on to it and stay. I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay.
I appreciate the gifts and the blessing that I got in here.
Right.
But really this is just like just a stepping stone.
And that's what it is.
Doing, and I'm ready to move on. Mm-hmm. But if I can help somebody as I move on, so they can move on,
right,
it make it better for me.
It motivates me to see other people get this and grab it and take it and run with it. You never know who people are, or who they will become.